The Kingdom of Punt, an ancient and enigmatic civilization, has captivated the imaginations of historians and archaeologists alike. Nestled at the crossroads of trade and cultural exchange in the ancient world, Punt holds a unique place in the annals of history. This essay seeks to unravel the mysteries surrounding this once thriving kingdom, exploring its historical significance and shedding light on the profound impact it had on the ancient world. As we embark on this journey through the corridors of time, we will draw upon archaeological findings, historical records, and scholarly interpretations to piece together the mosaic of Punt's existence. Through rigorous investigation and thoughtful analysis, this essay seeks to contribute to the ongoing discourse on ancient civilizations and foster a deeper appreciation for the Kingdom of Punt and its enduring legacy. The Kingdom of Punt occupies a prominent place in the written records of ancient Egypt. Referred to in various inscriptions, texts, and reliefs, Punt is often depicted as a distant and exotic land, rich in resources and splendor. These references are found in texts dating back to the Old Kingdom, indicating that Punt's significance in the eyes of the ancient Egyptians endured over several centuries. Exploring these textual references provides a window into the perception of Punt by the ancient Egyptians and the nature of their interactions. The quest to pinpoint the exact location of Punt has intrigued scholars for generations. Several theories have emerged, each proposing a different geographical setting for this elusive kingdom. One prevailing hypothesis places Punt in the Horn of Africa, encompassing modern-day countries such as Somalia and Ethiopia. Proponents of this theory cite geographical descriptions, trade routes, and the presence of specific flora and fauna as evidence supporting the Horn of Africa as the likely location. Another theory posits that Punt may have been situated on the Arabian Peninsula, with the ancient land of Dilmun or present-day Yemen suggested as potential candidates. Proximity to ancient Egyptian trade routes and the presence of valuable commodities such as frankincense and myrrh contribute to the credibility of this theory. While the debate over Punt's location continues, ongoing archaeological excavations and advancements in remote sensing technology offer new avenues for investigation. Recent discoveries and interdisciplinary approaches may provide fresh insights into the geographical puzzle that is the Kingdom of Punt. Constructing a chronological timeline of the Kingdom of Punt involves piecing together fragmented historical evidence from ancient Egyptian records. The timeline likely begins in the early dynastic period, with the earliest references found in the pyramid texts of the Old Kingdom. As we progress through the Middle Kingdom, Punt's significance in Egyptian texts becomes more pronounced, particularly during the reigns of pharaohs such as Sahir and Hatshepsut. The New Kingdom, characterized by the height of Egyptian power, witnessed extensive trade expeditions to Punt. The reigns of pharaohs like Thutmose III and Amenhotep III marked peaks in diplomatic and commercial relations between Egypt and Punt. However, as we approach the late period, references to Punt become scarcer, and the kingdom begins to fade from historical records. The geographical features of Punt, though subject to speculation, are often portrayed as diverse and lush in the ancient Egyptian texts. Descriptions highlight Punt as a land of plenty, featuring rolling hills, exotic vegetation, and abundant water sources. Specific details provided in the texts, such as mentions of the Great Green, have led scholars to explore the possibility of Punt being located near the Red Sea or the Horn of Africa. The terrain is often depicted as rich and fertile, contributing to the perception of Punt as a bountiful land. Navigable rivers, dense forests, and a favorable climate are elements commonly associated with Punt, emphasizing its allure to the ancient Egyptians seeking valuable resources. Punt's allure to ancient civilizations, particularly Egypt, lay in its abundant natural resources. Among the most coveted commodities were aromatic substances like myrrh and frankincense. Punt was renowned for being a primary source of these fragrant resins, integral to religious rituals, medicinal practices, and the thriving incense trade of the ancient world. In addition to aromatic resins, Punt boasted a rich array of flora and fauna. Exotic plant species, such as ebony and cinnamon, were highly sought after for their use in construction, craftsmanship, and culinary purposes. The forests of Punt were believed to be teeming with wildlife, including exotic animals like baboons, giraffes, and panthers, adding to the kingdom's allure. The natural resources of Punt played a pivotal role in shaping its economic and diplomatic relations with neighboring civilizations, particularly ancient Egypt. The aromatic resins, in particular, were highly valued for their use in religious ceremonies and as ingredients in perfumes and medicines. The incense trade, facilitated by maritime expeditions and overland caravans, connected Punt with the wider Mediterranean and Near Eastern world. Punt's contribution to the trade and commerce of the ancient world extended beyond aromatic substances. Timber, precious stones, and exotic animals were among the sought-after commodities that fueled a lucrative exchange network. The trade routes connecting Punt to major civilizations in the ancient world allowed for the flow of goods and cultural influences, creating a dynamic economic landscape. The allure of Punt's resources also had diplomatic implications. Pharaohs sought to establish friendly relations with Puntite rulers to ensure a steady supply of valuable goods. The prosperity and abundance associated with Punt enhanced its reputation as a desirable partner in trade, influencing the geopolitical dynamics of the region. In summary, the geographical features and natural resources of Punt, as described in ancient texts, not only contributed to the kingdom's allure, but also positioned it as a key player in the economic and diplomatic networks of the ancient world. The exploitation and trade of Punt's resources left an indelible mark on the history of ancient civilizations, shaping cultural practices, economic dynamics, and diplomatic relations. The societal structure of the Kingdom of Punt remains a subject of speculation due to the limited direct evidence available. However, glimpses into Puntite society can be gleaned from the descriptions found in ancient Egyptian texts. Punt is often portrayed as a prosperous and harmonious land, with indications of a well-organized society engaged in various cultural and economic activities. The society is believed to have been agrarian, benefiting from the fertile land and favorable climate described in ancient Egyptian records. Agriculture likely played a central role in sustaining the population, with the cultivation of crops such as grains, fruits, and spices contributing to the kingdom's abundance. The cultural practices of the Puntites, while not extensively documented, are hinted at through the trade and diplomatic exchanges with ancient Egypt. Aromatic substances, such as myrrh and frankincense, held deep religious and ritualistic significance in both Puntite and Egyptian cultures. These precious resins were used in religious ceremonies, funerary rites, and as offerings to deities, suggesting a shared spiritual connection between the two civilizations. The presence of exotic flora and fauna in Punt also influenced cultural practices. Animals like baboons, panthers, and giraffes, native to Punt, are depicted in Egyptian art and likely held symbolic importance in Puntite society as well. The utilization of these animals in religious iconography and the depiction of Puntite envoys, presenting such exotic creatures to the pharaoh underscore the cultural exchanges between the two civilizations. While the specifics of Puntite religious beliefs remain elusive, the prominence of trade in aromatic substances associated with religious rituals suggests a cultural and spiritual landscape intertwined with nature and the divine. Ongoing archaeological research may shed further light on religious practices and beliefs of the Puntite people. The Kingdom of Punt's interactions with neighboring civilizations, particularly ancient Egypt, were marked by diplomatic exchanges, trade partnerships, and cultural influences. The diplomatic relations between Punt and Egypt are evident in the depictions of Puntite envoys presenting exotic goods to pharaohs. These exchanges fostered not only economic ties, but also cultural cross-pollination. The Puntite-Egyptian relationship, as portrayed in ancient records, was generally amicable. Punt's status as a supplier of coveted resources made it a valued trade partner, leading to the establishment of diplomatic protocols and alliances. Such interactions contributed to the broader tapestry of intercultural relations in the ancient world, influencing artistic representations, architectural styles, and even linguistic borrowings. The cultural and social aspects of Puntite society are undoubtedly shaped by its interactions with neighboring civilizations. As trade routes crisscross the ancient world, ideas, technologies, and cultural practices flowed between Punt and its counterparts, leaving a lasting imprint on the development of both societies. The The Kingdom of Punt stands out in ancient history as a crucial trade partner with ancient Egypt, and the nature of their commercial relations is well documented in various historical records. Punt's significance as a source of highly prized natural resources, particularly aromatic substances like myrrh and frankincense, positioned it as a key player in the vibrant trade networks of the ancient world. Trade expeditions to Punt were organized by several pharaohs, with notable mentions during the Old Kingdom and the zenith of Egyptian power in the New Kingdom. These expeditions, depicted in reliefs and inscriptions, often involved maritime journeys along the Red Sea. Puntite envoys, recognizable by their distinctive appearance and unique offerings, would travel to Egypt, establishing diplomatic ties and facilitating the exchange of goods. The commodities exchanged between Punt and other civilizations, particularly ancient Egypt, were diverse and highly sought after. The aromatic resins myrrh and frankincense are among the most coveted. Used in religious rituals, burials, and as luxurious perfumes, these substances held both spiritual and economic value. The trade of aromatic resins extended beyond Egypt, reaching the Mediterranean and the broader Near East, influencing the cultural practices of distant civilizations. In addition to aromatic substances, Punt was a rich source of other natural resources. Timber, precious stones, exotic animals, and spices like cinnamon and ebony were among the commodities traded. The availability of such diverse goods contributed to the allure of Punt as a trade partner. These exchanges were not only limited to material goods, but also involved the transfer of cultural practices, technologies, and ideas, fostering a dynamic intercultural network. The economic impact of Punt's trade relations with ancient Egypt was profound and multifaceted. The influx of valuable resources from Punt bolstered Egypt's economic prosperity and cultural richness. The aromatic resins, in particular, became integral to various aspects of Egyptian life, from religious ceremonies to daily grooming rituals. The trade expeditions to Punt were extensive undertakings involving significant investments in manpower, ships, and logistics. These ventures not only stimulated economic activity, but also played a strategic role in enhancing the prestige of the ruling pharaoh. Control over Punt and its resources contributed to the geopolitical influence of ancient Egypt in the wider region. The Kingdom of Punt maintained diplomatic relations with various neighboring civilizations, with its most notable and well-documented association being with ancient Egypt. The relationship between Punt and Egypt was characterized by mutual respect, trade partnerships, and occasional diplomatic exchanges. Punt's status as a supplier of valuable resources, especially aromatic substances, made it an attractive ally for the powerful pharaohs of Egypt. Diplomatic relations were often formalized through the dispatch of envoys and the exchange of symbolic gifts. Puntite envoys, easily identifiable by their distinctive appearance and the unique commodities they brought, played a crucial role in facilitating communication and fostering goodwill. The depictions of these envoys in Egyptian art highlight the importance placed on diplomatic ties between the two kingdoms. While the primary focus was on Punt's relations with Egypt, indirect diplomatic interactions with other nearby civilizations likely occurred due to Punt's strategic location at the crossroads of trade routes. The exchange of goods and cultural influences along these routes contributed to a broader network of diplomatic relations, impacting the geopolitical dynamics of the region. The records of diplomatic exchanges between Punt and ancient Egypt are preserved in various inscriptions, reliefs, and texts. These documents provide insights into the formalized nature of their relations, often involving treaties or agreements that regulated trade and diplomatic protocols. The reign of Queen Hatshepsut, during the 15th century BCE, provides one of the most detailed accounts of diplomatic exchanges with Punt. Her famous expedition to Punt is extensively documented in the reliefs of the Deir el-Bahari temple, showcasing the ceremonial aspects of the diplomatic encounter. The exchange of goods, the arrival of Puntite envoys, and the signing of agreements are vividly depicted, offering a unique glimpse into the diplomatic rituals of the time. Other pharaohs, including Thutmose III and Amenhotep III, also engaged in diplomatic relations with Punt, as evidenced by inscriptions on temple walls and steles. These records not only highlight the economic aspects of the relationship, but also underscore the diplomatic protocols and symbolic gestures that characterized interactions between these ancient kingdoms. Punt played a nuanced role in regional politics, primarily as an economic powerhouse and a source of valuable resources. Its strategic location at the nexus of trade routes connecting the Red Sea, the Horn of Africa, and the Arabian Peninsula positioned Punt as a key player in regional dynamics. The abundance of coveted commodities, such as aromatic resins, gave Punt leverage in diplomatic and economic negotiations. The wealth derived from trade with Punt bolstered the influence of the Egyptian pharaohs who controlled access to these valuable resources. Punt's role in regional politics was, therefore, not only shaped by its own political agency, but also by its economic significance within the broader geopolitical landscape. Punt's influence extended beyond direct diplomatic engagements. The trade routes that converged in Punt facilitated cultural exchanges, technological diffusion, and the spread of ideas. These dynamics contributed to the interconnectedness of ancient civilizations in the region, influencing regional politics and power dynamics. The architectural landscape of the Kingdom of Punt remains enigmatic due to the scarcity of direct, archaeological evidence. However, glimpses into Punt's architectural achievements can be inferred from ancient Egyptian depictions and descriptions. Punt is often portrayed as a land of prosperity and sophistication, suggesting that its architecture mirrored the kingdom's affluence and cultural prowess. The depictions of Puntite settlements in ancient Egyptian reliefs depict well-organized communities with distinctive structures. Temples, residences, and communal spaces are suggested, adorned with the unique architectural styles and design elements characteristic of Punt. The use of local materials and construction techniques would have played a significant role in shaping the architectural identity of Punt. The scarcity of direct, archaeological evidence makes it challenging to provide a comprehensive understanding of Punt's architecture. Ongoing research and future excavations in potential Puntite sites hold the promise of unveiling the architectural legacy of this ancient kingdom. Punt's technological advancements are equally elusive, as the kingdom's technological prowess is not extensively documented in ancient texts. However, certain technological achievements can be inferred based on the commodities traded and the sophisticated craftsmanship implied by the goods exchanged with ancient Egypt. The production of aromatic substances, such as myrrh and frankincense, likely involved advanced knowledge of horticulture, extraction methods, and trade logistics. The cultivation, harvesting, and processing of these resins would have required a deep understanding of the local environment and specialized techniques, showcasing a level of technological sophistication in Punt. The construction of seaworthy vessels for trade expeditions also reflects Punt's technological capabilities. The ability to navigate the Red Sea and conduct maritime trade with ancient Egypt implies proficiency in shipbuilding and navigation, indicative of a technologically advanced maritime culture. Comparing the architecture and technology of Punt with other contemporary civilizations, particularly those in the Mediterranean and Near East, provides insights into the diverse cultural and technological landscapes of the ancient world. In terms of architectural styles, Punt's unique features, as depicted in Egyptian art, may distinguish it from the monumental structures of ancient Egypt or the intricate palaces of Mesopotamia. The use of local materials and environmental considerations in Punt's architecture could set it apart from the grandeur of other civilizations. Technologically, the specialization in the production of aromatic substances and the ability to conduct long-distance maritime trade align Punt with other advanced cultures engaged in similar pursuits. The maritime skills demonstrated by Punt in navigating the Red Sea and conducting trade expeditions suggest a level of maritime technology comparable to other seafaring civilizations of the time. Overall, while Punt's architecture and technology may not have left the monumental structures or extensive written records of some contemporary civilizations, the kingdom's contributions to trade and its unique cultural identity position it as an integral part of the rich tapestry of ancient civilizations. The decline of the Kingdom of Punt remains shrouded in mystery, with scholars offering various hypotheses to explain its gradual disappearance from historical records. One possible factor is environmental change. Punt's prosperity may have been intricately linked to its natural resources. and alterations in climate or ecological conditions could have impacted the kingdom's agricultural productivity and access to essential commodities. Internal factors, such as political instability or social upheaval, may have also contributed to Punt's decline. The absence of detailed historical records from Punt makes it challenging to pinpoint specific events or rulers that could have played a role in destabilizing the kingdom. However, internal strife or power struggles could have weakened Punt's political cohesion, leading to its eventual decline. Another consideration is the evolving dynamics of trade routes and economic networks. Changes in global trade patterns or the emergence of new trade hubs may have marginalized Punt, reducing its economic significance and contributing to a decline in prosperity. The historical events leading to the disappearance of the Kingdom of Punt are not well documented, and the gradual fading of Punt from the historical record complicates our understanding of its demise. The decline may have been a gradual process influenced by a combination of internal and external factors. The diminishing references to Punt in ancient Egyptian texts during the late period suggest a decline in the kingdom's prominence. By this time, the geopolitical landscape of the ancient world was undergoing significant transformations, and Punt's one central role in trade and diplomacy may have waned. The decline of Punt might have been accelerated by external pressures, such as invasions or conflicts with neighboring civilizations. The lack of historical records from Punt itself makes it challenging to identify specific events. But broader regional dynamics and interactions with emerging powers could have played a role in the kingdom's disappearance. Despite its decline and disappearance, the legacy of the Kingdom of Punt endured in the collective memory of ancient civilizations, particularly in Egypt. The commodities and cultural influences that flowed from Punt continued to shape the material culture and religious practices of the region long after the kingdom itself faded from historical records. The aromatic resins, exotic animals, and other commodities sourced from Punt retained their value and significance in the ancient world. The memory of Punt as a land of abundance and prosperity persisted in the narratives of subsequent civilizations, contributing to the allure of this enigmatic kingdom. The impact of Punt on the region can also be seen in a continued exploration of trade routes and the search for exotic goods. As new powers rose in the ancient world, the desire for the resources that were once associated with Punt persisted, influencing the dynamics of trade and diplomacy. In conclusion, the Kingdom of Punt, though enigmatic and elusive, holds immense historical significance. Its role as a trade partner, the source of valuable resources, and a cultural influencer left an indelible mark on the ancient world. The enduring impact of Punt on the understanding of ancient civilizations is evident in the ongoing research and the continuous quest to unveil its mysteries. As modern discoveries shed light on this once forgotten kingdom, Punt stands as a testament to the interconnectedness of ancient civilizations and the richness of their cultural, economic, and diplomatic exchanges. The exploration of Punt continues to be a captivating journey into the depths of history, revealing the complexities and interconnected narratives of the ancient past.